I can't get the Tesla Model 3 charge adapter to pull out of the charge port. All right, this is an experience I wanted to share, just to kind of show that not every piece of technology is perfect, and I'm having some problems here. So I am not using a Tesla wall connector just yet. That's something I'm hoping to get here pretty soon. But in the meantime, I'm using my, right over there on the wall there is the juice box as it's known. And it's worked quite well up until this point. I use the adapter, and typically what I do is I go into my app and I unlock it. Sometimes I come in here and I pull this out, and then it indicates that, oh, no power is coming to it. So then it unlocks it and it lets me take out my adapter. But here's what's happening. It's not recognizing it for some reason. And the only way I can do any kind of reset is it says to close the charging port, close the charge port to retry. But the problem is the charge port won't close because this stupid thing is in the way. So then I go to the car, I open this up, get in here, I get a little glitch, this happens every time. I'm in here, now I'm trying to, look at this, it says cable, close charge port door and try again. And again, I can't do that, unplug and try again. Once again, I'm unplugged, but the adapter is stuck in there now. So I go to close, and it's gonna be the same thing. Now let me see here. Charging disabled. Never use charge port. Charge port lever to insert cable. Using lever to insert cable prevents charging. Unable to charge. Unplug and try again. Charging disabled. Close charge port. All these things I just can't do. And so now I can't go anywhere because I can't get this stupid thing out of the... I've got this red indicator coming in here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is probably call customer support and see if there's something they can do. I guess I'm going to have to be on hold for an hour before I can go anywhere. But, I mean, I suppose I could try, but I don't want this stupid flap open and exposed to the elements. It's raining outside. So, I don't know. I'll keep you posted and see what happens here. All right, I am back. It's going to keep this pretty raw, shaky video just because it's so quick. So that I was able to solve the problem, and here's what I did. I went inside the house and I called customer support, and I was on hold. And I thought, while I'm on hold, they said it's going to take about 15 minutes. So in the time that I went from the car back into the house to make the call, it was a couple of minutes, and it allowed the car to turn itself off and kind of go into sleep mode, if you will. The screen was off. The light indicator on the charge port was not illuminated at all. So then what I did is I woke up the car, and it seems like that was the reset that I needed, because then I went into the app and I went into the charging section of the app, pushed unlock, and as usual, it was able to come out. So after doing a little bit of research, I found there's an actual easier way to do this, a manual way as a matter of fact. So let's first start off with the problem that I had. Here you can see the red light, and what that's telling you is that there's an error, and it's actually locked. It's locking this thing in place. It's not charging. It won't let you start charging. You have to do a reset. So here's the thing. I'm trying to pull this thing out. It won't let me. So then I thought, okay, well, let me take the actual charging cable out and see if that works. So now I've got the adapter in there. That door is going to try to close on it, but then it says, okay, I can't close all the way, so let's take it back up. Now I try to pull on this. It's not coming out either. That thing is locked in there. A couple of things, right? You can try to go in the app and unlock it. That's not going to happen. You can go into the car and try to unlock it. That also is not going to happen. But there is a manual release cable in here. You go to the trunk, and right behind where you have the charge port itself, if you reach up in here, you will find, kind of hard to reach, but you can get to it. You will find this. This is attached to a cable. And what you do is you pull on this, and at the same time, you pull out the charging adapter that I have. Now again, this will also work with the regular Tesla charging cable if it's stuck in there as well. So let's take a look at that. All right, here we go. So as I mentioned, you find the cable is back here. And I'm going to go ahead and find the cable. There it is. And here's the actual adapter that is stuck in the charge port. Pulling on the cable, pull it out, now I'm good to go. So that's how you are able to take any kind, whether it's the Tesla cable or whether it is the adapter, you use that manual pull release, and that will allow you to pull out anything that's in that charge port. Okay, so one last thing you've got to do before you're ready to go. And before I started shooting this video, this was still red even after I'd pulled out that charging adapter. So what I did, and again, keep in mind that that indicator light was red. All I did was just give this a tap, little nudge. It closed. And then what I did is I opened it back up and it was ready to go. So that is the last step that you've got to do, is after you pull that thing out manually, it will still be red, but the reset for it, for allow you to get back and get charging again if you need to, is to give that again a tap. It'll close, then you open it back up through your app or from your car, and you'll be good to go. So as you can clearly tell through this video, there were certain forms or levels of frustration, if you will. Of course, at the very beginning, I was frustrated because I couldn't get that charge port. I couldn't get that out of the charge port. I had to do some last minute Christmas shopping, and it was definitely frustrating. And so then what happened was I realized I couldn't get that thing out. I called customer support. And as you saw in the video, after the car went to sleep, it seems like that is all it needed, was to wake up again and kind of reset it and allow me to pull that out of the charge port. What I found interesting is that that worked, but resetting and rebooting the computer by pushing both those knobs on the steering wheel, it didn't seem to work. So I found that kind of interesting. And then, of course, as you saw in the last part of the video, I had done some research and found a much easier way to get that out of the charge port. So there you have it. Hopefully you found this video informational and helpful. If it's never happened to you before, now you know what to do in that situation. And again, I was really frustrated with Tesla. I still love the car. And now that it's very clear that they thought about that situation by making that manual release, making it so much easier, and it worked just fine. It wasn't a problem. So once again, thank you all so much for watching. And if you, by the way, if you're thinking about buying a Tesla anytime soon, or know of anybody who's going to be buying a Tesla, be sure to use my referral code for 6 months of free charging. That would be fantastic. So once again, thank you all for watching, and stay positively charged.